Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Indi'Gxld, Thad Adams of Extra Chill Magazine, here, Icebox, with Mr. Swim, Mr. Filthy, Matt Monday. How you doing, brother?
What up?
Doing good, man. Made it happen, my man.
Yes,
Got
sir.
it together. This is dope. Cultura is
sir.
coming up real soon. It's an exciting time for the underground scene, Charleston music, all over the place, man. I moved here in 2018, and like right before I got acclimated to the scene, Cultura was going off, and you had the first Cultura with, you know, yourself, Abstract, Slim Soul, like a lot of different guys who were still like pushing in the scene till this day.
No doubt.
And so with that, how did Cultura like kind of come about? Like, how did Swim come together and kind of have that idea of creating what became Cultura?
Yeah, Cultura started after Royal American used to do an event called Summer Shindig. I think they ended it in 2017 or maybe in 2018. But I performed on Summer Shindig with, I think Benny was on that show too. I performed. I think Susto was like the headliner.
Okay.
And it went well. I think outside of Susto, we had like the most impactful set, like as far as like the hip hop being kind of bringing a different energy than probably what they normally had in Royal at the time. Because I don't think Royal had too much hip hop at that time. And they were ending Summer Shindig in 2018, and then I went and sat and had a conversation with John. I think Dave was with me. We had a conversation with John about starting like another festival or giving us the opportunity to do a festival that was primarily hip hop and R&B. And at that time, the community was so tight knit as far as the artists. You had like myself, you had Nisi Blues, you had of course you had Benny, you had Contour, you had a lot of artists who kind of all Ja Jr., DJ Scrib, who all kind of interacted in like this sub community in the city of hip hop. So yeah, we kind of putting it all together on the bill, mostly local acts, and try to, you know, create kind of what the build of Summer Shindig was, just kind of changing the genres of music, and it went well.
Dope. I mean, yeah, man. Years later, it's still, you know, here. And another thing I think is real cool is like Swim and Cultura kind of like set the stage for like a lot of like the subsidiary groups that are now rising up and kind of doing the same thing that y'all created with branching out from the Shindig and then creating Cultura as like we've seen it now. Like we've seen like how we can actually do this ourselves as a part of being a part of something. And so that kind of like goes into the next question of how Royal American got into the mix with Cultura. So is Royal American going to be like the home for Cultura, or is there like are we dreaming of bringing it to other states or even like a tour situation?
I definitely, if it was up to me, I would like for it to be in Charleston. I think it's something that could blossom in Charleston. I think it could be a beautiful situation for the city. We definitely want to scale. But Royal was really the first venue to open its doors for us to be as expressive as we want. And they're kind of like the only venue, even outside of Cultura, that supports hip hop in Charleston. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't even tell you, I probably couldn't name 3 venues that support hip hop in the way that they do. Right. Specifically, John Kinney and his staff, who were always amazing, always do excellent business, always very supportive and helpful. And that's a big thing too, of just having a venue like, yeah, we'll let you in, but will we get some type of support? And so they've always shown love, man. They've always shown love. So for the foreseeable future, as we continue to grow, like Royal's always going to be a part of it to some capacity, or I would like for them to be.
Right. Yeah. And like I said, I've only been here since 2018. Like y'all have seen like the inception of like a lot of Charleston hip hop and it developed in the city. And so since I've been here, it has been Royal American. You know, we have like the underground spots, the Purple Buffaloes. Charleston Poorhouse is starting to dabble in it a little bit more with like the Mondays with Granddaddy Caddy. So it's like really cool to see like Royal American still be like that center, that pinnacle of it.
No doubt.
And it's Cultura, you know what I mean? Like,
and you said Poorhouse, I mean cut you off. You made me think of something. Like before Royal, a lot of the rap acts had to either open or partner with a rock act. you had to partner with like a whole other genre that would probably headline or kind of was the primary person on the ticket just to get on the stage. And that was a big part that kind of drove me too, because that's kind of how I came up. I had to get on with like a Ben Fagan or open for like a Susto to get exposed to a larger audience while still trying to cross back over into like my own audience. So just to get stage time. And I think that there are a lot of artists in the city who are very talented, who need more stage time to kind of work on their craft from a performative standpoint, who don't really have any place to go to do that, let alone have like a quality stage. I'm not talking about like a platform in somebody's backyard. I mean like, yo, let's have some good, like some good sound, let's have some good lighting, like just basic stuff that you can go anywhere else and get. But for here, it's a whole conversation.
Yeah, so it's like a rare, it's a rare.
Yeah, that's like, crazy. That's crazy to me.
Like even being an artist, like that's something that I've gone through crazy. Like in the city is having to open up during certain rock acts. Like we've gotten to the point where it's like the mix. It's almost like we want to add the mix of like every genre of music into what we do, but it's like sometimes that same respect doesn't draw over when it's just us.
Exactly.
Like when we do it, and it's like for y'all to have to go through it in 2016, 17, 18 to build to what it is now, and like to still see it go down to some capacity. Yeah, like it's like it's just like a crazy parallel.
Yeah, no doubt.
But kind of just going a little bit deeper into that. So like seeing the influx of like black entertainment, black music, kind of black culture really spreading its wings in Charleston like a little bit more than it has in like the last 10 years. Like there are some bigger concerts and stuff going out at places like Lo-Fi and Windjammer. Like these places are starting to dabble in hip hop a little bit more. So that's a major aspect of what makes Cultura. Like I've kind of read a couple of the articles that you've done with Charleston City Paper and watched a couple interviews, and young black talent has always been like the center of it. Yeah. So now and driving forward, how is that like going to continue to be like the driving force behind Cultura? Like that's the moniker.
Yeah, I think for a city that has grown, even since you got here, let's just start, we can start at 2018, that has grown to the extent that it's grown regionally and nationally. I think that for there to be no growth in the offerings to the young black youth culture, there's something about that that's a weird disconnect. Like how can we grow to be this #1 city in the world or in the nation or whatever? How can we grow to have, we used to have 10 festivals. Now it's like a festival every weekend, or it's an event every weekend. And none of them are marketing to us culturally, like directly to us culturally. It's like 1,000%. You can come and enjoy, or you can come partake, participate, but this ain't necessarily for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I think, what is one gonna hurt? Like, goddamn, like we can't have one situation where we can come and just be normal and be ourselves and play the music we want to play, eat the food we want to eat, and interact and socialize and cultivate in a way that is specific to us culturally. And it's crazy because most of the culture in the city comes from the young black youth in the city. You know what I'm saying? It's just a weird observation. And myself, and again, I don't move individually. I have a team around me, but we all kind of align when it comes to that part. We have like a cohesive streamline of thinking of, we really want to create a space. Can we just start with a space and then see what comes from that? So, and for me, it's always been the youth culture of the city, the black culture of the city. Like I said, I was born and raised here, so I've seen like what Moja Arts used to be back when it was the block party behind Customs House. That was a cultural thing. I remember what Stardust Skate Center used to be. I remember what Stone Soul Picnic used to be. I was here for a lot of that, so I have a more familiar feeling of if it takes place, what it actually could be like, versus now we lived in the absence of it. So it's like, dang, like we can try to bring this back. It's almost like an erosion, like a cultural erosion in a sense. The more stuff that comes into here, the more we see it go out from a cultural standpoint.
Yeah, kind of permeates from outside of Charleston. But
Absolutely.
Charleston never really gets the, like, it came from there.
Yeah,
like, it started
exactly.
from there.
Exactly.
And so, like, it's like hearing it from the horse's mouth, you know what I mean? Like, you're from the root of it, you know what I mean? So it's like, you've seen the elevation, you've seen the progress, but you've also seen the complacency. You've also seen where certain things are still, you know, standing present that we think we're trying to overcome.
Yeah.
Like, by doing things like Cultura, by what S.W.I.M represents, and like the people that you're around. So it's really dope, brother. And I put all my faith in it, man. Like, it's gonna be something. It is something that is creating Black empowerment in this city.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, from the first Cultura having all local acts, you know, pretty much, like I said earlier, all the homies who were still out here kicking, like your Benny Booms, your Ja Juniors, Slim Soul, Abstract That Rapper, Niecy Blues, Matt Monday, you know what I mean? Like, all these people are like still thriving within this passion that we call music. And so I know the first one was more so all local acts. So what was like the transition, or what kind of sparked the idea of wanting to go into the realm of having like a headliner similar to last year with Currency, which was crazy to see with the band, by the way. Just to tell you that in person, that blew me away. But to have like Deuce this year, you know what I mean? Like, how was that like sparked into the Cultura brain?
I think we always wanted, like I said, we always wanted to scale, and we always wanted to be a simultaneous effort of creating the stage for the artists here, but also bringing in acts that probably weren't coming here. When I first started performing, there were a lot more acts coming through, primarily to the Music Farm and some spots in North Charleston. But primarily the Music Farm is like when we caught early Wiz, and of course that was blog era, so the whole infrastructure for the artist cycle was a little different. But like Wiz came through, like early J. Cole, and to see who these artists are now, and to know that they all came through here at like a much more independent level, it for me personally, it helped me as an artist locally, because I kind of had a firsthand experience with artists who were kind of ascending, so more so towards a like a national look. Right. And so it gives you some insight of like what it really is like versus the perception of what you think it's like from the outside, or looking at it on the internet, or hearing it from somebody else. So and just that it's obtainable. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could see this person on stage and be like, oh, we can do this. So I just wanted to kind of make sure both those things could happen simultaneously. And Currency is like one of the first people I opened for, so that came full cycle.
Oh, bless.
And then, you know, going forward, we just wanted to add more acts. So this year, like, we have Duke Deuce, we have Nick Grant, who's from South Carolina, but who's, you know, a super, super dope lyricist. And then we have Ajian, who is from Charleston as well. He used to go by Asia Bryant, who's also like worked with Dr. Dre. She's on the Compton album. So just, you know, like I said, just trying to make it a bridge between those two mediums.
Word. And that's like a healthy list of both, like, because you have like the local celebrities like Lil Boss, you got Mossberg, Montana. So it's Boss, like you really have a whole scale, like a whole like scale of like from the local to like that national outreach. So,
absolutely.
Like, it's just a genius thing to see, and just know that it's gonna be like a consistent situation. Like, is Cultura back like on a yearly scale, or are we gonna kind of get to a point where we hit them with a couple shows and then take some time and then make it like more of a multi-year situation?
No, it'll be annually.
Annual.
We're trying to make it like an annual, like any other festival,
right.
And just grow in size. But yeah, annual situation that hopefully everybody begins to start looking forward to every year, like looking forward to the lineup. Mm-hmm. We like that this year people were looking forward to the lineup.
Oh yeah.
That didn't happen last year, of course, not the first year, but this is our first back-to-back. But I like what's happening.
Bless. Yeah. And that's cool, because like, kind of like being in tune with like the media, people just kind of assume you know things. I'm like, bro, and this is before we even talked about having like an interview together.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, if that Cultura thing drops, you gotta. I was like, bro, I'm gonna find out when y'all find out, man. Like, they're mysterious about it. You feel me? Everybody I've ever talked to about it, like Tay Simone, she's one of the homies.
Yeah.
Like, shout out Tay Simone. She's a dope promoter in the city. She's like, I don't even know. She's like, it's a panel and I don't know. So it's like, it's dope that it has that type of secrecy. It has that type of, that's really, really dope. And the community peeps that. You feel me? So that's really cool. It adds like a little bit of a mystique, like some hardcore angst for the actual like show. So I just think it's genius how y'all lay it out. Like, you hit every nail on the head. Like, last year, Mike Brown had like a choir with him, like a couple singers. And then like you have like the hardcore rap, like the R Dadas, So it's like y'all hit every level of versatility. So do you see yourself wanting to add more underground sounds, like outside of like hip hop and R&B? Like, would you go more like black pop, maybe even something like black country music being a part of it? Like,
yeah, definitely. That's a conversation I had with Randy, who's my business partner. And we definitely, as we scale, I definitely want to introduce unorthodox genres that aren't necessarily correlated with black musicians to add to the platform as well. Because there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't even aware of that I found just going through my iTunes, or my friends putting me on to like different artists that are doing things that I've never heard before that I think also should be exposed to the community as well. So yeah, that's definitely something I'm definitely interested in as we grow. Right now, I think a lot of the draw is from the hip hop and R&B community, more specifically the R&B community. And that's kind of where we wanted to lean towards going forward, was like getting more R&B involved, just because the resurgence of R&B and just how much people just enjoy those performances. Just from what I observed at the festival, like how they vibing out. Like the rap performances are fire, don't get me wrong, but the R&B sets, people are really like,
they're drawn in.
Like
Sunray joint last year was crazy.
Sunray's joint was crazy. I'll never forget Niecy's joint. So it's like, oh man, like we should definitely like, consider that move heavier in that direction. Not all the way, but definitely lean more.
Yeah. That's real dope, man. So like, just as far as Cultura Matt Monday is concerned, that's really all the questions I had for, just kind of giving people a little bit more of a in-depth vision of like, what is Cultura, how did it come about, and like all of the pieces that it takes to create something of that magnitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
no doubt.
You see like a lot of division in the city at times.
Yeah.
And so it's really dope to see something that brings every aspect of it together consistently.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
So I'm just gonna ask a few random questions, just off the pocket. We're gonna see, what are your top 3 favorite black restaurants in Charleston?
I say Nana's, Nigel's, LJ's, and Bertha would be honorable mention, but Bertha like 90 through like 2005. Early Berthas. Yeah.
I
early
wish I
Berthas.
got a chance to experience that place.
I got it.
I've heard stories.
Early Berthas. And yeah, those are like, I knew you said 3, but those I got my father's from Union Heights, so if I don't say Berthas, he gonna feel the way.
Respect to Pops. Another top 3, what would you say are your top 3 best mental health practices?
I take walks and play music. Like, I'll take a break and just go on a walk and just play like a really good album. Right now I'm playing both the Vanna albums, the Equinox EP, and I forgot the other one, but I'm playing those albums on walks. I try to write like every day, try to sit down and actually like write, whether it be lyrics. It's been a lot more lyrics lately, but whether it be lyrics, thoughts, or just goals or plans, just try to get everything in order, because I have a lot of conversations during the day and I forget a lot of stuff. Like my team would tell you, like I'll say something to them and I'll completely forget, or or have to have them remind me. So just like just taking time to do that, and really sitting and just trying to get into a good show, like it has a good plot.
Right.
Or they've got me on the animes heavy, so I've been watching a lot of anime and watching a lot of good shows and films. So yeah.
Word. Yeah, I'm a huge like movies, series, like a good television show. Like that's one of my biggest like zins, out here. So
I'm trying to get back to the theater.
Yeah, right, man. It's been a minute since I've been to a movie, like an actual movie. Man.
I went and saw Dune 2 at the theater. I had a blast. I was like, this is amazing.
That's what's up, brother.
Yeah.
And one more three. We'll say if you could have any 3 headliners for the next 3 Culturas, any 3, what would they be?
That's a good question. I definitely would want.
I know it. I know it.
If I could get all the Hot Boys,
okay,
I would have Hot Boys be like my number 1. Like all 4.
Fire.
All 4 Hot Boys. If I could get Kiwanaka. I go Kiwanaka. He's like a black folk singer. He's super dope. And for the women, we gotta find somebody for the women. It'd have to be like a Solange or like Summer Walker type vibe.
Okay.
So like women, like they can come out and enjoy that.
I can dig it.
I've seen both of their sets, and I thought they were like performance wise was like, oh, this is crazy. This is really good. And I didn't expect it to be that good. So yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what's up. I can dig that. Like the versatility. You ain't go too crazy. We pick some people that are still out here talking to souls out here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's dope, man. Once again, Matt, I appreciate us doing this, man.
No doubt.
On behalf of like Extra Chill, this is like real dope. It's dope to like meet you in the flesh and really kind of pick your brain with it, because just as much as I'm like working with the media side, I'm a huge fan of what's going on with swim and culture.
And we appreciate you, man. For real. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely,
no
man.
doubt.
So, thank y'all once again, man. It's your boy Indi'Gxld, Thaddeus Adams. I'm here with Matt Monday. It's the Icebox. Peace.